Well, what do we have here, lovey? Why, it's a Jaguar F-Type. A what? A Jaguar F-Type. What does F stand for? Fabulous, fantastic, fun. All of the above, if you ask me. Jaguar introduced these in 2014, and they haven't changed much outwardly on them over the years. Seeing this one as all-wheel drive, which was first offered in 2016, if I was a betting man, based on its rims, I'd venture to guess this is a 2017. That said, if anything, it's the latest in a long line of oh-so-stylish, sporty Jaguar Coupes. A long line starting with the SS Jaguar 90 in 1935, built by SS Cars in Coventry, England. It was called the 90 because it was said to be able to accelerate to 90 miles per hour. SS stood for Swallow Sidecar, a builder of motorcycle sidecars that began dabbling in automobiles in the late 1920s. From 1936 to 1939, an SS Jaguar with a larger engine was called the SS Jaguar 100. SS Cars changed its name to Jaguar in 1945. Jaguar really started making a name for itself when they debuted the XK120 in 1948. Like the SS90 and 100, the 120 denoted the car's purported top speed. Capable of doing 120 miles per hour, the XK120 was the fastest car in the world at the time of its introduction. Fun facts, early XK120s had wooden frames. Can you imagine doing 50 miles an hour in a car with a wooden frame, let alone 120? Jaguar replaced the XK120 with the XK140 in 1954. The 140 was somewhat larger than the 120, had more interior room, and a more powerful engine. Next came the XK150. Bearing a familial resemblance to the 140, the 150 was radically revised and was somewhat longer than the XK140. With less wide doors, interior room was up substantially too. It also featured a singular rather than split windshield. Jaguar replaced the 150 with the legendary E-Type in 1961. A radical departure from the XKs, in addition to being drop-dead gorgeous. The E-Type featured rack and pinion steering, front and rear disc brakes, and front and rear independent suspensions. Pretty heady stuff for 1961 on a passenger car. Legend has it at the time of its debut, Enzo Ferrari called it the most beautiful car ever made. High praise. Jaguar built the E-Type through 1974. Chances are, if you're of a certain vintage, when you hear the word Jaguar, with regards to an automobile, you think of one of these. I know I do. Technically, Jaguar replaced the E-Type with the XJS in 1975. The XJS was not a sports car. It was classified as a luxury Grand Tour, or GT, more like Great Britain's version of a Cadillac Eldorado or Lincoln Continental. That's a bit of a stretch. It was more like a mid to late 70s Chevrolet Corvette, although it cost 3 times as much as one of those bourgeois coupes made in the colonies. In fairness, though, Jaguar would prefer it to be compared to the 1971 to 1989 Mercedes-Benz SL, but if the buckled white patent leather slip-on fits, Jaguar built the XJS through 1996, an incredible 21-year model run, replacing it with what they call the XK8 here in the United States. A new design, the XK8 was the first Jaguar to have a V8 engine and was designed in part by the Ford Motor Company that had bought Jaguar in 1990. Ford sold Jaguar to India-based Tata in 2008. Jaguar replaced the XK8 with what they simply call the XK in 2006. With styling meant to emulate the E-Type, it was longer, wider, yet 200 pounds lighter than the XK8, and these cars are noted for their strong performance. Our F-Type here replaced the XK in 2014. Jaguar named these F-Type after the E-Type, and although not a big seller, it is a luxurious, high-performing sports car. To say nothing of its drop-dead gorgeous styling that has aged, my opinion, very well. We're looking at an all-time classic here, right up there with the early Jaguar XKs and the fabled E-Type. Irony of ironies, Jaguars, all big cats in fact, are not indigenous to Great Britain. In the past, Jaguars could be found from the southwestern United States to the scrub grasslands of Argentina. Thanks for taking the time today to watch this little video on the history of sporty Jaguar Coupes. Be sure to comment below, like, and subscribe.